welcome back to Hobbit Racing. Back here in the Shire, we're talking GT3 cars here. We got a racer sideways, McLaren 720S. A fun surprise birthday present from my mother-in-law. So let's take a look at the unboxing of this beautiful 720S here. Fantasy livery. I believe there was a Castrol McLaren livery, maybe a Richard Mille Racing Team one. I know this does say the Blancpain series before it became the Fanatec GT series, but I can't find this car anywhere. But I love it. I love it. So let's start here with the unboxing and quick review.
Wow. What might we have here? A little bit of birthday still in the box. It just showed up. My mother-in-law. This is fantastic. Thank you, my. Well, let's see what we have here. Aha. Oh, that's bad lighting. Cloverleaf Racing. All right. Let's get our peanuts out of the way. Thanks, Mike. Can always find numerous purpose and places for more Cloverleaf Racing stickers. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. Oh, yes! Oh, the mighty Castrol. Special edition, assumed to be a fantasy livery, no doubt. But this is nice. The McLaren 720S. All right, this will be a fun one. Let's see what I have to do to get into here. Probably, well, then again, I take it back. Got to do a couple things. It's sideways. What am I thinking? There's always a piece of tape right here on the sideways. All right, here we go. Here we go. Nice. Beautiful. This is my first McLaren. This will fit nicely into the GT high performance category, where we still run a lot of GT cars that fit in there, from slotted, sideways, do a fly car, anything in there. 23,000 RPM motor fits that class. Nice work on the back. That is just, boy, that's some nice stuff with the diffuser in the back and the exhaust coming in there. That's going to look fun when the wing is on it. Yeah, like I said, this is my first McLaren, and of course, why not the Castrol livery? This is a fantasy livery. I don't believe this car existed, although I feel like there was an edition of this car. It might not have been an 82. I'll be all right. It might not have been, yeah, I think it might not have been number 82. I really can't remember, but I'll look it up and I'll clarify and correct myself if in the comments in the description if I need to. But yeah, that's awesome. Look at that. You got some nice wheels. I've never had a car with white wheels either. I think that's super fun. And again, I'll take anything that's green and red and white that says Castrol on it. That's for sure. But that's a beautiful car, sideways car. So you've got some slotted parts inside of there. Maybe we can take a half turn and get it out of here. Or a full turn? Apparently, should have been a half a turn, but I'm stuck on something. Well, after finally taking out a pair of pliers, seriously, and pulling the pin, which should not have been necessary, we can get a closer look at this car. Beautiful lines of the McLaren, of course. Nice outline on the front lights for sure. maybe this was a liveried car. It sure looks like it. Maybe it was in the GT series, GT3 series in Europe. It does have the black paint logo on the roof there, so maybe it was. And of course, Sideways has been gracious enough to have you build your own wing on the back of it, so I'll be looking forward to doing that. Just did that with the Porsche 963 GTP from Scale Auto. I love the rear end of that car. The rear end of that car looks fascinating even without the wing on it. But yeah, what amounts to a baby Raptor, pardon me, it's a baby Raptor, but what amounts to a baby King. So ironically, I'll probably steal that baby Raptor and possibly use it in an NSR GT car. It's literally the same exact motor, 17,000 RPMs, 245 grams per centimeter of torque. But in this car, I will go ahead and be replacing it with a MX-16 23,000 RPM motor. Now, I do find it fascinating. I don't know if this was a mistake in the manufacturing, but one of the things that I've noted out of the gate, we have decent gear lash, so that's a good thing to begin with. But you'll notice two things that appear to be missing. This is a 5-point sideways motor pod, and yet we're missing the brass screws. It looks like they put brass screws in this one. We're missing the screws in the bottom of them. So a little bit of weirdness. Not only did I have to use a pair of grips, linesman's pliers, pardon me, to get the pin out, which got stuck inside of that hole in a way that I've never seen before. I might even find plastic sheared off inside of it. But nonetheless, I'm not gonna, go crazy about that. I have plenty of brass screws that I can put in there, but it is a little bit strange that the two rear motor pod screws are missing. But I'm sure that this car is going to be just so much fun. Ride axle height adjustment. Looks like it's got a standard slotted guide in the front. That'll be replaced for a deep wood guide, and just really nice out of the box, just super shiny, super lovely white wheels. They've also given you an additional set of Michelin. Oh, what does that say? Some other logos on here, some other McLaren logos, and something else there. I'd have to take a look at the livery to understand where they expected you to put that on the car, but that's always fun. I think these are probably water slide decals, and that's great too. Maybe they're stickers, I'm not sure, but that's great. That's another nice thing. And again, you've got the two stanchions for the wing right there, and you've got the wing. So let's take a peek while we can. All right, let's close in a little bit and see what we got going on under here. Lightweight interior, love it. That is some green underbody. That's awesome. We've got our lightweight interior here. This seems a little bit troubling. I can tell that I'm going to have to reinforce this already. I don't know if you can see that this has got way too much movement. It's in a position where there's already relief from that, air duct in the real automobile, and you can feel the entire curvature move. And when I unscrewed this screw, it definitely it was scaring me a little bit. I did it very slowly. If you have this car, if you have any sideways car like this, and you feel that, any recommendation where you have a slotted car typically that has front and back, just take your time. They'll eventually come out. And honestly, in the factory, when this body was tampoed and the car put together, it was probably the very first time that a screw was put in it, and that was it. So that'll get a little bit more used to it as you start working on the car. But what do we have inside for ourselves, right? We've got some newer motor wire. We've got that 5-point pod, which is absent of the screws on the rear end that we will get rid of. We do have a screw-in guide. So that's nice, actually, that's a screw guide. However, it's not a deep wood guide. And yes, out of the box, you can see that it's certainly leaves something to be desired in terms of fitment. Love it that we have our axle ride height adjustments. That's going to be lovely. Looks like I can put 2 more screws, one more right here and one more right here, It's got ride height adjusted on the bottom, but of course, if you lower the ride height, you have to be able to create a snug environment in here. So a couple of knocks here, at the end of the day, it really feels like, seems like, what have you. And maybe it's just, sideways giving you the opportunity. You could connect this pod in any different number of ways. You can connect it 1, 2, 3, 4. You can connect it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a bit extreme. That is the Evo pod from Slotted, pardon me. You could always also remove these fins right here. You can actually remove on any sideways car, just about. You can remove these triangles and put a slotted pod right there, and you could go inline if you wanted to. I suppose there might be enough room there to go Sidewinder if you wanted to as well. So you've got some nice configuration points. You do have a nice hard chassis. I would consider this with some flexible points on it, where Sideways has done some interesting design to create these flexion points on the side. So, we'll see how that rides. But again, the point being is you could do a 3-point pivot. You could do a 5-point pivot. Certainly you wouldn't connect screws here, here, and here. That'd be extreme. You need some float. So I might go back to the original configuration. I'm not a huge fan of these sideways. I'll be all right. That was a fun pun right there for me. I'm not a huge fan of these side fins on a motor pod, but you never know. You never know what we might get out of it. Some nice wire management. But as I was saying, there's a little bit of, either suspicion or they're setting you up to do what you want to, but they're not completing the puzzle. I would have expected that there should have been 2.9 millimeter set screws to go in the top, along with the ones that are already in there protruding from the bottom. Thankfully, I have lots of parts, but the average user may go car by car when they go to buy parts to tune. And so you really would hope that they would have included those pieces. A little bit of flashing on that rubber. I won't be using the stock rubber. We use silicone on here. But overall, a nice looking chassis to work with. Looks like some very nice bushings in the back. Could we consider them oil lights again? Yeah, they could be, certainly. They might even be racing bushings. They have certainly pocket for oil in there, if you can see. I can get that up to the camera appropriately. There's a pocket for oil in there. Gear lash is pretty nice. I cannot remember out of the box, but we do seem to have a lightweight spur. We do have a brass pinion. All nice things out of the box, including the guide. The fact that it's a screw-in guide to begin with. But again, I'm going to go with a slotting plus guide right there. And that's going to be the way that we're going to go on this track. You might choose a slot invasion guide. You might choose to leave the guide alone right where it is. But this is going to be a fun one. I haven't done a GT high performance car in quite some time, but I am very excited. This isn't the newest livery. It's not the oldest of liveries. And again, it might be a fantasy livery, but join me for sure, and I will be happy to tune up this car and get it out here on the track.
So that was just a quick peek of what's to come, what we get to dive into and tune and do that motor exchange for class compliance. We get to really figure out whether that 1128 gearing is going to work well for our slotted MX-16. That's pretty close to a good spot, somewhere between 2.5, 6.7, 2.8. It's really well on the War Eagle River track at Hobbit Racing Park. So until we get into that next time, be on the lookout for the first part 1 of the tuning video. And give us a like and subscribe here. And give me some feedback as well if you choose, and share this video with others. Thanks for watching.
If you don't subscribe to Hobbit Racing, I'll poke you with my staff. Pokey, pokey, pokey. She will poke you with her staff. Pokey!